So this is part two of the story. So we go on the next day. Like I said, I was staying at his house sometimes. So I was like, Papa, guess what? Because he heard what happened. He was mad. He was like, man, what's wrong with you? Man, you got to do it. So at this point, he on a breakup point with me. He just so tired of it, man. He was like, man, you doing this. You messing me up in the car. And he was like, man, you got to do something. I can't keep. So I was like, Papa, nah, look, I'm going to school, young. I got my paper. Look, I got classes. So he looked and was like, man, you for real? I was like, look. And then we went. I told Papa Sherman. And that morning before we left, right, for my first day of school, like Papa Sherman, man, was like my dad. He was our dad. You know what I mean? Like Papa Sherman was there. He used to say, man, y'all the smallest ones. It was three of us, man. Me, Jay, and Seven. We was the smallest point guards, right? I told him, I remember he was sitting downstairs in the living room on the couch. I said, Papa Sherman, I got going to school tomorrow. Because, they was at the verge as well. Like, man, you got to cut them off. So that morning he made like us the biggest bread. They made like the biggest breakfast, man. You thought it was IHOP for real, man. You thought it was IHOP for real, man. The way it went down there. We ate good. I'm like, Papa, yeah, I'm going to school. Yeah, I'm going to class. I have my books. I put the lyrics to the pen and the pad to the side. Hold on one time. I was like, man, y'all going to the side right there. Get up there, get up the campus once again. We park where we parked at, because we didn't want nobody to see where we was driving. Got dressed in the back of the trunk. And so the whole time I used to be there, I used to look like on on campus in MC Rockville back then. I haven't been there in a while, but I heard they built the campus up a little bit more. So during this whole time, like the campus would have parties. Like I said, they had a football team, and guys came from all over the states, y'all. And they had a soccer team. So every night, it was like, I'm telling y'all, it was like them campuses. I'm telling y'all, man, every day was something, a party or something was going on campus. All you had to do was go to MC Rockville and you was going to have a good time. From sun up to sundown. And there was so many girls, man. Some of them girls came from like, it was a group of girls that came from like, I think they was from like Largo. That was my first time seeing like girls from like Largo and that PG County side. They was all had like that little salt and pepper look, like the short hairstyle with, oh my gosh, fashion on another level, man, right? So I'm like, so while I'm sitting there, I used to remember everybody used to walk. I think during that time, MC Rockville only had like 4 to 3 buildings, and everybody used to walk into the same buildings. And when I saw the paper when we walking up to the campus, and Papa was like, "That's your building right there." I remember I never seen nobody walk into these buildings, none whatsoever. So when I walked, I saw the building that says Fine Arts. I said, "What? I don't even know what that is, y'all. Like, what's Fine Arts?" I go in there. I saw somebody. I was like, "Can you help me find this?" They helped me find where the class was at. I opened up the door, y'all. So if you know like the old Montgomery Blair, some of y'all that went to Montgomery Blair, the old Montgomery Blair auditorium, that's what it looked like in this classroom when I opened the door. So just to go back a little bit, y'all, like in my school days, like junior high school, I used to be terrified, y'all, to get in front of the class or to stand up, to talk in front of the class. You know how the teachers be like, "Come up to the board," and then math was like one of my weakest thing ever. Like, Eric, come up to the front of the, come to the chalkboard and figure out this problem. So in junior high school, I used to hide in the bathroom for the Miss Levine, man. If I ever could find Miss Levine, I used to hide in the bathroom for the whole period. Miss Levine ended up finding out she used to let me stay in there too, man. So I was terrified to be in, and throughout my whole high school, junior high school, elementary school. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all can relate to that. So when I opened it up, I saw like an auditorium, but I'm like, this is a class. So it reminds you when they got me into the class, school open semester enrollment is over, but somehow they got me. That lady got me in there. So when I walked in there, the teacher was like, the professor, sorry, was, "You Eric, have a seat." So you know what we gonna do? We gonna and there was a lot of people in there. I go walk up the doors. I walked straight up to the back of it and sat down. And I seen when I'm sitting there, I'm like, what kind of class is this? The next thing you know, there's class going on. I'm seeing students walking down, like reading a book, like acting, doing TV. I say, what? Next thing you know, she like, Eric, since you knew, come down here, introduce yourself, and I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to read in your book. I see you got your books with you. I need you to open up to this page and come down and hey y'all, I was about to play sleep. I was about to play oh yeah, gone. For real, man. I was about to be out. I was about man, it felt like I was about to faint. And they know I'm like, oh man, this is a trick bag move to another level right here. So I was like, you know what? I looked around, I was like, nobody know me in here. I went down there, man, ended up reading, introduced myself. So once again, I'm gonna just be incorporating other stuff into it. But that class, so to kind of find out it was an acting class, y'all. It was an acting class the lady put me into. That class ended up helping me out in my life. As y'all know, I do counsel. I did a lot of stuff to where I had to be in front of people and talk. But that helped me out a whole lot in my life to where I'm not afraid to do this anymore. If it wasn't for that class, that acting class, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now, like talking to people and expressing and or getting in front of a podium or talking in front of an audience or talking in front of kids or being on TV or being in front of the media. I wouldn't have, it's like now I'd be ready. So, and I know that's still a lot of people's fear, not knowing that was going to be a part of my life that I needed in my toolbox. So as time went on, I ended up loving the class. Y'all. It was an acting class. The teacher ended up liking me. The students, man. So for me and Jay, everything was going good for me. I was like, finally, I found something I like to do. I'm walking around with my book bag on. I'm telling them, man, I don't got time to sit with y'all today and make munchies. So after I got the class, I ended up going in the cafeteria again. It took me a while before I went back in the cafeteria because after what I did, I felt like really bad that I did that. And I remember walking into a room and it was a radio station. I say, what's this? Because mind you, I'm still writing music, writing around. Says a radio station. I walk in there, walk in the radio station, they playing like rock. I remember they had a couch, it was dark in there. I'm like, what's this? And it was like, it's a radio station. And as time went on, I kept finding myself in there, easing myself in there to the point they was like, you want a little slot? The white dude said, you want a slot? I can give you a 30-minute slot that nobody be in here doing. So I'm like, yeah. He's like, what kind of music you gonna play? And I was like, go-go music. Because remind y'all the way the campus was. So MC Rockville had his own radio station back there, y'all. But the radio station would play throughout the school and mainly in the cafeteria. So once again, I ain't know too much about go-go music, because I'm going back and forth to New York. I'm know more about. I mean, we know what go. This is the peak of go-go, like 94, 95, 96. This is the peak of it, of the go-go era. It's on the rise. So I know what it is because I'm hearing it, but it's not really being played at my house. Fifth floor is really like a musical floor. Like Tacoma Park is a sports birth town, but the fifth floor was all musical. You heard nothing but anywhere from Michael Jackson to Elvis Presley on that floor, but you ain't hearing like go-go and rap. I will talk about that later on down the line in my stories on how fifth floor made me like into the music. So I knew what go-go was, right? So I went to my man Anthony. Anthony followed me on here. I went to the big fella. I say because I knew he had go-go tapes. He used to go and get the little go-go tapes, the PA Palace tapes and all that. So I asked him one day, I was like, hey, can you provide me with the tapes so I can play it? And I had to depend on him. So every morning he would bring me a go-go tape and I played go-go. So yes, y'all, you can say I was the first one to actually play go-go music on the air, on the airwaves. And that is a known fun fact. I was the first one to do that. I was the first one to play go-go in Montgomery County, right? and I was on the mic. So they got to realize, so them in the radio station, you know, they're playing nothing but like rock and hippie. So when I come on, man, the whole MC campus used to be going crazy. Cause they be like, oh, they playing go in here. Then once they saw it was me, like people started walking over there to the little studio where the booth was at, and they saw it was me. So they was like, hold on, that's the Dennis the Menace guy. That's Jason, man. That's the one that did that. And now they see me in there. And I was like, man, I'm on a good path right now. I was like loving life, y'all. It was like a career found me. I'm doing acting classes. I'm on a radio station. I'm on a radio station, man. And everything was just on the up and the up. And then I found me a little, you know, I'm becoming popular in my own way, even though I wasn't like Jay became popular in the sports. Like I started becoming popular in this, you know, not even like that negative, ended up becoming a positive.